Hey y'all, Rick Sky here, and within this video I'm going to attempt to address how should a wristwatch be worn. Now there's a lot of different opinions on the internet, and I want your feedback below, so please comment, tell me what is the correct way and why. Some people say that this would be incorrect because this is being worn below the wrist bone. The wrist bone's right there. I've got a 7.5-inch wrist. Now, as a rule of thumb, what I like to do is size my bracelet so I've got, I can put a finger in there. So it's not too tight to where it's going to leave marks on my wrist, but it's not so loose where to flip around. I mean, you see people that don't size their bracelets and their wristwatch flips around. It looks stupid. In my opinion, again, it's a matter of personal preference. But see what happens, see mine sized, I can even put it up above the wrist bone. But see, for me to go above, see, here's my wrist bone right there. But for me to go above my wrist bone, I think it looks stupid. It's like it's on my forearm instead of my wrist. And, not to mention when I start to walk, it's going to fall down. Like I've got it right now because it's sized to fit below my wrist bone. It's too tight. This would leave marks. So let's do an experiment here. Let's take this off. This particular piece has a micro adjustment, so I can pop this out, and now I've made the bracelet longer. So now let's put it up above my wrist. See, now it can go above my wrist bone. See, that's my wrist bone right there, a little bump. Maybe I'm defective. Maybe I don't have a big enough wrist bone. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I need to put something in my wrist. Or maybe I just need to wear my watch below. I think that looks ridiculous. I think that looks ridiculous having a watch on the forearm. I mean, I don't know. So see, then you put it back down there. Obviously, it's too loose now. See, this is what happens if somebody wears a watch too loose. Just flips around. But see, if I have it that loose, way too loose, but then if I push it up above my wrist bone, it's about right. See, now I can stick a finger under there. But the problem is, if I was supposed to wear the watch above the wrist bone, see, it's acceptably loose, so it's not going to leave marks. But as soon as I stand up and start to walk, it goes back down to my wrist, and then it flops around. So for that reason, what I prefer to do is wear all of my watches, and again, I'm going to use this micro adjustment here to put this back like it was, like it's sized for me. I prefer to wear my watches like that. It doesn't flip around. I've got enough room for my finger to go in there, so it's not too tight. It's not going to leave marks. But obviously, with this degree of tightness, if I tried to put it up above my wrist bone, if it's that tight, it'll probably stay above my wrist bone, but look at that. That's going to leave marks, man. That's too tight. But again, if I loosen it up, it'll fall down like I just demonstrated. So see, this may stay above my wrist bone. Again, my wrist bone is tiny. So, eventually it's probably, even though it's this tight, it's still going to fall down. So for that reason, to me, it just seems more natural to just wear it below the wrist bone. Now, sure, if you push your hand down, this crown could hit your hand. And I've been wearing watches for over 25 plus years, so I've got kind of a little mark right there from the Omega Seamaster 300M, and then this one. But some of the watches that I wear, they're so tall off the wrist that even if you push your hand down on the desk, that's probably not even going to make noticeable contact. But I mean, 90% of the time, 99% of the time, I'm just working at a computer desk, or I'm out walking. I'm not standing there pressing on a desk with force to make the watch crown dig into the top of my hand. So again, I'm not trying to create conflict here. I just want to know, does that not look right? I mean, having it below your wrist bone. And if you put it above your wrist bone, how do you make it stay there? Because to me, that looks silly. That looks like looks like I'm wearing a watch on my forearm. Maybe my body's just a weird shape, man. Maybe I'm defective. I mean, who knows? But to me, that just looks ridiculous. To me, that looks correct. And again, the correct amount of adjustment, put my finger under there. So tell me what you think. Do you wear your watch below the wrist bone or above the wrist bone? And again, to show you what the wrist bone is, the wrist bone, I think they call it the ulna. It's that thing. And see, I don't really have a very pronounced wrist bone. See? But I do have a 7.5-inch wrist, but I just got this tiny little wrist bone thingy there. So I don't know. I mean, this is often disputed, and I mean, it's just, the product of comments within YouTube videos that prompted this. So is this incorrect? Is this correct? Is it a matter of personal preference? I'm going to say that this is incorrect. I don't like this. It looks stupid. It's up above, it's on the forearm. So I'm going to say that the way I wear watches is the only correct way. But again, what's right for me may not feel right for you. So tell me what you think with it. And see, there's that wrist bone right there. See? Sticking right there. So this is below the wrist bone. Tell me what you think within the comment section below. And be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/IrixGuy. Tell me how you wear your watches. Y'all have a good day.